finally, let's review the magic formula. We got the wow factor times visual connections times magnetic conversions, which equals those more leads, more sales, and greater impact. So Helen is an exceptional book writing coach. We met at a mastermind that focused on speak to sell. And although she knew what I did for years, she never really reached out because she believed slide design didn't make that much difference until she saw my client's presentation. He was a guest speaker on her 3-day event. And when he finished his talk, the whole audience rushed to the back of the room to buy his product. We're talking 94% of the room wanted to buy his product. And Helen was astounded. She was thrilled because she received a percentage of the profits, but she was also bewildered. Like, she wondered, how did he manage that? How did he achieve that success? And then 2 weeks later, she finally called me. And she got invited to speak to a small group of very powerful people. They paid a lot of money to be at this event. I think there was about 75 people at the event. And so we worked together on her slides, and she spoke at that event, and she made $6,000, which was pretty good, but we could do better. And so the win, though, is that she got asked back. They loved her presentation. They loved how she spoke and what she talked about. And her product that she was offering was a perfect fit for that audience. So they said, we want you to speak next month in Canada. And we have a room full of 300 people. Will you come back? And so we worked again. We had a whole month to continue working on her slides. And, when she presented, the 600 was not, 6,000 was not a lot. But the win-win was that, again, she got asked to a bigger stage. So she's speaking to 300 people. We worked on her slides, and she was nervous but excited, knowing how her presentation really makes a difference. Because I made her practice, and I worked with her, and I coached her through the slides. And this time, she made $72,000 from a 30-minute talk. So she came from no sales to $6,000 sales to $72,000 in just 1 month. So you want to ask yourself, what could you do with a $72,000 payday in the next month? So combining the wow factor, the visual connections, and the magnetic conversions, you have the possibility of getting more leads, more sales, and greater impact. So one of the things I had Helen do was practice her talk every single day and record it, and send me the recording for 30 days straight. Sounds intense, right? But here's the magic. I needed her to see what truly ignited her passion. I needed to hear it in her voice, and she needed to connect more deeply with her message. And as she practiced day by day, I tuned into her script like a conductor with a symphony. And I began developing the slides to harmonize perfectly with her words. And guess what? Helen didn't just practice. She did connect deeply to the core themes of her talk, like her personal journey, the transformative power of her methods, and the tangible benefits for her audience. It was like watching a masterpiece come to life. So we've explored how compelling slides can transform your presentations. Now imagine you're sitting in front of your computer and you're working on your slides, and you have that blank white screen and you don't know what to do. Well, would you like a gift? I have a gift for you. I have a report that I want to give you. It's my exclusive slide design cheat sheet. And it's here, it's for you today because you showed up, okay? It's a quick reference guide to instantly improve your slide design. And it includes font pairings, color psychology, and layout best practices, and also the all-important call to action placement tips. And this is your secret weapon to making slides more professional and persuasive. And on top of that, I have an extraordinary offer for you today that you absolutely don't want to miss. Introducing the Connect and Convert Slide Design SOS. This exclusive opportunity lets you show me your most important slides and discuss a winning strategy to help you get more leads, more sales, and greater impact. No slides yet? No problem. We'll discuss your future needs and map out a winning strategy. Or we'll dive deep into the heart of your message and discover how to captivate your audience like never before. I promise the experience will both be enlightening and enjoyable for you. So you're going to get a professional critique of your most important slides. We'll discover exactly what's hurting your engagement, credibility, and conversions. And you'll get personalized insights that will normally cost hundreds of dollars in consulting fees. And you'll get a breakdown of your message clarity, ensuring your slides sell your ideas effectively. We'll give you instant fixes to simply simplify the complex slides while keeping audiences engaged. And I'll show you how to turn your slides into a storytelling powerhouse that drives action. And you want your slides to do more than look good. You want them to convert. So for everyone who books a call with me and shows up, I'm going to give you my psychological triggers playbook, which reveals 7 powerful persuasive techniques used by top marketers and speakers to spark attention, build trust, and drive action fast. It's not theory. It's not strategy. It's science-backed techniques that are proven principles grounded in how people actually make decisions. So your slides don't just look good, they persuade. You'll learn how to keep your audience hooked from start to finish by shaping your message like a story, building tension, keeping attention locked in, and every step of the way. And then insider secrets. These are the behind the scenes methods I use with top tier clients. They're practical and powerful and rarely shared outside this room. So to sum it up, you'll get my custom slide audit and expert feedback valued at $750. You'll get my high impact visual strategy session valued at $1,000. You'll get my messaging and storytelling framework valued at $500. And you'll get my before and after slide enhancements valued at $750. And you'll get the psychological triggers playbook valued at $250. And the winning call to action formula valued at $350. So the total value of this Connect and Convert Slide Design SOS is $3,500. But today I'm offering it at $97. But don't wait to book, because if you book today, it's free. So go to endslideshame.com. Arlene's dropping the link in the chat for the Connect and Convert Slide Design SOS. It's a short slide strategy. That doesn't take a long time, but I want you to bring your slides if you have them. And I give you a Dropbox to upload your slides so I can take a look at them before we meet, so I can give you some really valuable feedback. And I had a client, I had talked to 2 clients yesterday, and one was like, Bridget, just do my slides for me. What does it cost? I love what you're doing, but I don't want to touch my slides. And it's like, yeah, I'd love to help you. This is what I do all the time. And then another client met with me and said, I just don't know which is the most important slide and what do I change? How do I change it? And I looked at their slides and said, well, I would do these 3 things, it was a color shift, it was a font shift, and, finding better images. And, in 20 minutes, they walked away very empowered to completely change their slide deck. So it's an opportunity. I'm not asking for any money for this. If you meet with me, if you sign up today, and you'll get that psychological triggers playbook. People love it. So imagine walking away with a newfound vision and excitement for your next talk. Over 95% of those I've worked with have experienced just that. So why wait? Grab this chance to make your slides unforgettable. And let's create some magic together. Helen said, it was great working with Bridget because she took this time to watch my talk and give me feedback. It wasn't just the presentation, it was the empowerment as a speaker. It was the encouragement she gave me, knowing I had her team in my back pocket cheering me on. And here's another testimony. This came in actually last night. I worked with her on Friday, and so I'll just read it to you. This is a picture of her speaking. You're wonderful because you made my slideshow interesting for people. I'd like to continue to work with you and take lessons from you to improve. The slides were professional and engaging. People got the message through the pictures, not just the words. And this was the beginning of a 2-week event in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And she's like this expert in this area that she spoke on, and everyone just loved her and was asking her tons of questions afterwards and had lots of engagement. So I got the down low this morning when I called her. So my promise to you was presentations look different now, don't they? With the tips I shared today, you can elevate your presentations and shine like an expert. So I invite you to meet with me and transform your slides into captivating experiences that leave a lasting impression. The best slide decks aren't quiet. They hum with persuasion. So don't miss out on this exclusive opportunity. There's a scan code if you want to use it, or go to the website nslideshine.com. And I can't wait to meet with you. And that concludes my presentation. So I'm open for questions. Arlene, do we have any questions?
We do not, but
Oh,
I do have a question, and that is, Bridget, when you're working with people, what are the most common pain points that you find when people are working on their slides? When they come to you, what are their biggest problems?
well, they struggle with the tech, right? So they struggle how to use PowerPoint or whatever program they're using. And then, of course, because of what they've seen others people do, they figure they have to put all their notes on the slides so they don't forget anything. So
Right.
that's where their slides get full of all this text. And like I was working with a potential client the other day, and I looked at his deck, and it's a pitch deck to get funding. And he had every single word on there and every single description, and it looked like a book. And I looked at his slides and I said, this is something you hand out. This is not something you present because, like I said, you put text up there, they're going to read it. And if you talk on top of it, you create tension that is not going to encourage a purchase. So, so, you know, I have the recording, so everyone who came here today will also get the recording. So watch this again. Listen for what am I missing when I create my slide decks? Where did I go wrong in starting? A lot of people just start with an empty slide deck and they start creating their talk there. Um, and I did that in the beginning too. It's kind of a natural way to go, but really you want to write your script, like Hollywood does before you
Good
start
point.
filming.
There is one question, Bridget, and that is, what kind of software do you use when you for data visualization?
Well, data visualization, I use PowerPoint. I
You-
mean, PowerPoint makes pie charts, bar charts, all those kinds of things. You can make them 3D, so data visualization, it depends on different things. But also, too, I use a lot of custom techniques because of the years of experience I've worked and of other slideshows I've seen where we can show data in a different way that doesn't look typical. So when you have it unique like that, it becomes fresh and new and it's like exciting. Does that answer the question?
I think it does. And what would you suggest to people when they talk about like you spoke about it a little bit, and that is they have so much that they want to say. Like, how do they figure out what's the most important part to put on the slide? Like when they have too much copy, like what do they keep? What do they cut? Do you have hints to help
Well,
them with that?
you're not going to like my suggestion. And most people will probably not take my suggestion. But for those who really want to make a difference and really want to improve, take your slides as they are, open Zoom, present them, and then watch your talk. Sit in the audience and watch your talk and act as an audience member and ask yourself, am I getting what they're saying? Am I getting distracted? Am I missing the point? And it's hard because you already know your information, but you really have to see if I didn't hear this before, did this come across clearly? And, that took me a couple of years to actually do for myself after being in a speaker's program, so I've been in several speaker training programs, and that's what helped me to create webinars and talk more effectively to what I do to help speakers. But it also helps me understand what speakers go through when they're presenting from stage. So it is individual too. So that's why I suggest meet with me. And if you have questions like, well, how do I get this across? I'm going to ask you a cascade of questions that you'll want to ask yourself, going forward. And that's going to help you create your talk. And I did touch upon it, how Hollywood creates a movie. It's the same process.
Okay. Here's another question, and that is that a lot of times the client wants bullets. They want less pictures. They just want the information in there and make it be bullets. Um, what else would you suggest to do to not just have a bulleted list without images? You showed some examples, like the one of the arrow that went across. So that was one way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, as a designer, we're constantly looking for different ideas how to lay out things. And to give you a secret into how we work is we're always looking at ideas that other people have done. And so go on Google and search for bulleted list or visually bulleted lists and see how different bulleted lists are laid out. And you might get some ideas. Now, the examples I've shown just came out of my head. I didn't see anyone else do those. But it's also seeing how few bullets or how many bullets is it going to work to do it this way. Too much text, it's very hard to design it differently and get the idea. But if you got to put all those words on there, you're moving away from the Hollywood effect. So you also got to get that 70% of all people are visual learners. So if you're serving up text, you're only serving 30% of the people. So the visual learners are going to struggle through and try to remember, and they're not going to remember most of what you said. So they're going to walk away a little bewildered. Maybe you give them a handout, but are they going to read it later? How many people read those handouts? You
Right.
want to capture them in the moment, in the emotional moment when you're presenting, and in your voice and inflection and the passion that you have speaks worlds than them reading a report later.
Um, do you have the example that Cheryl Thompson did where she had big paragraphs that she needed to have all of that information on the slide? And so what you did was you did scan copy and made things bold. Remember they were,
Yeah, no, I don't have those in this deck.
darn
Uh,
it.
yeah. Well, you should have warned me you're going to ask that question.
I just thought of it, right. Um, so this approach, would this approach be effective for use on social media platforms too, like in the
Absolutely.
service provider sector?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look around. You'll see some social media that are mainly pictures and maybe a word or two here, but it's in the speaking. If they have, they'll have the text, obviously the social media, the TikTok and stuff, so you can read that. But the imagery is what pulls them in to see themselves in it, right? So you'll see like what do they call those social media? You know, people that, promote your product and they're holding your
Influencers.
influencers. Yes. And they do that for a bunch of different products and you pay them big dollar to do that. But people follow them. They have lots of followers and it gets your product out there. So definitely this would work in that social media realm for sure.
I wanted there was a comment and it was about a cheat sheet, wondering if there was a cheat sheet on how to convince clients that don't want to divert from their text heavy designs. What I would suggest is that you call and make an appointment with Bridget and talk to Bridget and share that with Bridget, and she can give you specific ideas that would really be helpful, Danielle.
Yeah, because there's really no cheat sheet to get around that. I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
It's like if you walked into the movie theater and the lights wouldn't come down, right? You had to watch the movie the whole time. You paid $25 and the lights are blaring and you can't really enjoy the picture. That's what a white slide does to you. That white background is what uh, drains out your brain to conjugate the dark letters on the white screen. And so you're blinded and you're disappointed, right? And you paid all this money. So if you are going in to see a presentation, you want to hear a conversation. You don't want to sit there and read.
Right.
So you want to consider that you're putting all that text up there for your cheat notes, not for
Right.
them.
Right.
And so you really got to get honest with yourself. Are you showing your cheat notes, like showing your underwear, or can you learn your talk enough to where you don't need those words on there?
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, is my client here? Did she leave?
Nancy,
Yeah.
let me.
Nancy, do you want to turn on your mic? I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing so I can see everybody.
She is not here. Oh no, she's still here.
Here, yeah, unmute her, will you?
Yes.
She told me she would share. She gave a speech on Saturday night, and I worked with her, I think, for 5 hours on Friday afternoon.
Yeah, we did. Can you see me?
I can turn on your camera.
Okay, turn on my camera.
She
Okay.
has the power.
It won't let me turn on our camera. You must turn on your camera.
Well,
Okay.
well, it start video. It won't. It's
Oh, it's a,
disabled by you.
oh, Bridget, you had to turn that off. Let me see. Let me do it. There we go.
Did Arlene work on my slides?
It was all
No, I
Bridget. It was all Bridget.
Oh,
cooking for her husband. Oh, we got Colin raising his hand too. So
no, I just signed up for my schedule Friday afternoon this week.
okay, very good. So Nancy, you and I work together, and you have a very rich story to tell, right? And we've worked together before. I've known you for at least 3 or 4 years,
Oh,
and you spoke in Santa Fe at the beginning of a 2-week festival. Tell them a little about it.
it's the Oppenheimer Festival because it started 2 years ago when, or three actually, when the Oppenheimer movie was released.
Oh,
And here I'm going to say start my video.
there we
And
go.
there we go.
Now we're cooking.
Can you see me now?
Yeah.
And at that time, I was the historian that commented at the end of the movie with
Oh,
others. And I also gave a lecture with another man, John Ruminer, about the decision to drop the bomb. And I'm a World War II historian. And then last year, I was invited to give a talk about the Santa Fe internment camp. And that's the slide that uh, Bridget just put up. And this year was a total surprise. It was to honor me for all my work in getting the bronze statues of Oppenheimer and General Groves done. It took us 7 years. I was
wow.
county council and I started Art in Public Places. And
Well, and what I love too is they said, I really understood the stories. The slides really helped me understand the stories, right? The
yes,
pictures.
my husband said a number of our friends who were there told him that, and if you could show them the slides that I gave you to work on. I prayed that you would have time for me. We were crunched because I went to New Orleans to the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. When I got back, I was absolutely exhausted, and I was hoping that you and I could.
Yeah, I got a hold of you last minute. My fault too, because I was busy. But I'm really glad that I got to hear the results this morning. So thank you for sharing all that.
Well, you are an angel to me, and
Mm.
you made the evening because all these people came and said nice things about me, and some of them I had reflected in the pictures that I were in my PowerPoint. The owner of the theater who asked me to do a PowerPoint when he got the Dropbox a couple hours after we went to bed. He just said, I love it. I love it. And so it was a great night, and it wouldn't have been as exciting without your help.
Oh,
Well, thank you so much, Nancy, and I appreciate you coming on and just sharing your experience working with me.
Well,
And
I knew you, if we could connect together, it would be a stellar evening, and it was.
yeah. All right. Well, thanks. And thanks everybody for coming and signing up. And you know how to get a hold of me if you have any questions or anything. And we'll wrap up here. Any last words, Arlene?
it's been wonderful. Book a
Okay.
call with Bridget. It's amazing what the value that you get.
Yeah. And check
Really
out the lead
interesting.
magnet that I send you, the cheat sheet. I would love to hear your feedback. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye
Thanks,
bye.
Bridget. Bye, Nancy.
Bye bye, Arlene.
Recording stopped.